So this is the show 1883. It is a beautiful show. Even if you don't usually love Westerns, I think that the characters are so beautifully developed. And I thought that this moment was just such a great example of how you can support someone that's dealing with death that was both respectful and honest. And so in this scene, Elsa is dealing with loss herself and going to that really dark place. So we can take a look and put on our therapy hats and see what would you do to be able to help her, and some different techniques that you can use if you or someone that you love is dealing with their own loss.
Death is everywhere. It follows us like a stray dog, waiting to devour us like scraps. The pain it causes is so acute, so complete. It's hard to understand how it benefits us as a species.
Death is such a difficult topic. I think that a lot of shows do, the way that they deal with death does us a disservice. I think that 1883 does a really good job, especially this scene. I like to use these specific words. I think that for myself, like if I was talking to someone about death, I will use the terms that they use because those are the ones that shows what they are already more comfortable with. But I don't like to use euphemisms. I think that it lessens the severity of the pain and the hardship and how difficult it is for us to deal with loss and the pain that is so severe a loss, such as death.
What purpose does pain serve? I understand desire and fear and love, and how they protect us and better our lives and bring new life.
So I'll answer some of the questions of what pain serves. Is often it is that precursor to stop us from doing things. Things hurt to help us learn because they actually did also benefit us, so that we will think twice before we do things. But in the case of death, it's such an acute pain. And for other people, when you're dealing with someone that has dealt with such a loss, such as death, it actually hurts us. Often we want the person that is mourning to get better because it hurts us to see them in pain. For those of us, especially that have a lot of empathy, it can hurt us severely. Often we would rather have the pain happen to ourselves than to have to see others go through it. So often that makes us impatient because of our own pain, our own suffering, watching someone else suffer. And that can be really difficult, that we want to rush them to get better. We want them to be happy for our own benefit, but that doesn't allow the other people to have their time to be able to mourn, and to mourn for as long and in the way in which they need. And that brings a whole bunch of complexity in the way that we speak to people that are dealing with this and how we interact with them as well. And there are definitely good ways and bad ways to be able to help someone when they're dealing with death.
I know how you feel. A lot of people are going to tell you that. Whether it's truth or not, I don't know. But I know it's true when I say it.
I always feel a little bit mixed with the I know how you feel. I think that in some cases, some personality types would actually rather not hear that. It doesn't diminish their pain, and often when we're in a deep sense of pain where we feel like we're the only ones that could go through this, we don't want to share that grief. And for others, can find it exceptionally comforting that we're not alone. And so the choices that you're going to make if you're trying to comfort someone that's going through this would depend on the personality type that you're dealing with. And you can often tell by their reaction if you went the right way or not. Also, that saying it, if you really don't know how someone feels or you have not been through a similar situation, because even if you've been through a similar situation, it doesn't mean that the way that you've handled it and the way that you feel will be how someone else feels either. And so everyone deals with grief differently. Everyone mourns differently, and we want to be able to be open with that and be able to hold that space. And sometimes that means just being silent and sitting with someone and allowing them to say and to share if they want to or not. And I think that going through the different personality types is going to break up the video, so I'll put a little tiny clip if you are interested in that on Nebula, so you can check that out.
I've sat right where you're sitting. thinking the same thing, thinking I don't want to live without them. Don't see the point. But here I am, living without them.
I also love that he does not come with a whole bunch of judgment or a very strong reaction which could startle someone or make them feel ashamed or bad. When you're mourning, even if you don't understand it, it's really welcoming when you're able to share deep, dark thoughts or feelings with people that are not going to judge you or see you as weak or damaged or broken. To be able to just hold that space, which sometimes means just sitting at a space that someone would feel comfortable with and just staying there. And the way that you would know when you are getting too close is that the other person will lean away. That means you've gotten a little bit too close. Move a little bit further away. And if they move in, that often means that they would like you to become a little bit closer. And so you want to read other people's body language to be able to know what you're doing right, moving in, they're paying more attention, they're listening, versus you've done too much, they're starting to close off, they're looking away the other way. So if you're reading other people, then you know by their language, they're telling you, I like this, I need more, or please stop. And then respect it.
Why?
Well, my reasons be different than yours. I don't have anyone left who loves me. You do.
I also loved that. I loved that he opened up the idea that we don't have to have the same reasons. And when you are dealing with really heavy topics such as death, you want to be honest with what you share and what you feel. We have these huge, especially when we're in moments of distress, these huge BS detectors of when someone is trying to put over something on us, or someone's trying to use these big flowery words and trying to just smooth things over and say that this is for the best and there's a great plan. That is so often infuriating to others. So you want to be careful with the language that you use and when you say things that when someone is in so much pain, they cannot often see that there might be something good in it, and it might actually make them feel more lost, more alone, because it's too far away from the point of which they are. When you're trying to help someone, you want to be there in the point where they are and then move with them to other spot, or just be there with them and allow them to stay where they are, because that's where they need to be.
I tell you why I'm still sucking air today. When you love somebody, you trade souls with them. They get a piece of yours and you get a piece of theirs. But when your love dies, a little piece of you dies with them. That's why it hurts so bad. But that little piece of him is still inside you.
And you want something like that is genuine and true, that we live for those that are not with us because that's what they would want for us. And that you wouldn't want to have their memory be something that is only remembered in sadness and in grief. You don't want their thoughts and their memories. Would you want, if you died, everyone around you to just remember you with thoughts of sadness and avoidance? Or would you want them to live as best as they can for you and to take all of those lessons that you carry with you? And I love the way that he states it as being able to have them see through your eyes, experience it through you, because you carry a piece of them within you. And that is so genuinely true. We carry those moments, those thoughts, those lessons that everyone has given to us along for the ride in part of our journey. And that's what makes it so special. And that's what makes it hurt so much, is that it is a precious thing to love someone so much that their loss will mean something to you.
And he can use your eyes to see the world. I'm taking my wife to the ocean. And I'm going to sit on the beach and let her see it. That was her dream. Then I'm going to see her. That's my dream.
But you don't have to live for them what their dreams are either. You have to live your own and continue on with your life, carrying that thought and memories with the pieces of lessons that you've learned because of it to make your life better. Sometimes you might feel in this dark pit and everything, there is no light. And at those times, if you feel the need, that's when you would want to be able to reach out to a therapist or a friend or someone that you trust in order to help you along the way so that you're not as alone. And I'll leave some links in the description for anyone that you or someone that you love might be going through that, because it is a very heavy thing to carry and it is a very difficult thing. We don't have great systems in place and processes to be able to fully support us.
In the meantime, the herd could sure use its cowgirl.
And that's also really important, that often you should give yourself time to mourn and to be able to have that space, but also remember that whatever you are doing at any moment, your brain's getting better at it. And any emotion that you are activating will continue to activate. All of those neurotransmitters are going to continue and they're going to activate for longer. So even after you're distracted, you still feel that sadness. And so doing something, living in sadness, can permeate you and become part of you. So for a lot of people, staying busy, staying distracted is really healthy to be able to allow your brain to see something, feel something different than just sadness. So what can you do? How can you help people? Yes, you can talk. Yes, you can be there to be able to hold the space. And if that is not your strength or you don't feel comfortable, you can also bring over food so they don't have to worry about eating, or take their pet for a period of time, or walk them for them, or help them with different chores. You want to take things off of their plate. Ask if they would like to be accompanied on a walk, to be able to shovel their driveway. These are all the things that can become overwhelming and can be really helpful. But I wouldn't say, tell me what to do. And I wouldn't say, if there's anything you need, reach out to me. Like, I might say that and then actually do something. Because for a lot of personality types, it's really hard to ask for help. And when you're going through a deep period of mourning, often you don't even know what you want and you can't even think about that. Be able to help them silently is often a welcome thing, but if they ask you not to do anything, you also want to be able to respect that as well. And if you want to check out my videos without having to deal with any of these ads, you can check out my sponsor, Nebula. If you like this video, you can also check out my Arcane, The Boys, Last of Us, all ad-free, sponsor-free on Nebula, just like all my videos on Nebula. And that's the whole purpose of Nebula. It's a place where you can get high-quality videos that creators can post early, post extended versions, post videos that would never work on YouTube. Creators like Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, Matt Kroll, Extra Credits, Morning Brews, Dan Toomey, Patches, Tirzu, and Stephen Bridges, who will teach you how to beat the odds. I've been posting also all of my compilation videos like The Last of Us, The Jinx Saga, Vox Machina Season 1, all early on Nebula. I also have a full course on how to beat anxiety, also available. You can also get exclusive originals like The Getaway, Real Science, Archaeology Quest, and trying to make sense of the X-Men cinematic universe, because we all need that. And if you want to sign up, you can use my exclusive link below. Yes, use my link. You could use other people's link, but don't. And you can also get an annual plan of Nebula for 40% off, $36 a year, or just $6 a month. And clicking on that link really does help out my channel. And that's all early access, extended versions, all courses, originals, all from Nebula creators, just from clicking on the link below. So those are what I think some beautiful moments from the show 1883 that I think does such a great job of how to help someone deal with death, and moments that were really beautiful even though someone's going through so much pain. You can let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.